The Injen Evolution cold air intake is a great fit for the 2011 to 2023 5.7 liter HEMI Charger owner who's looking for more sound and performance in an easy to install and maintain setup. This intake will improve the driving experience of your car without the need for a tune, and it comes in at a really great price too. If you've shopped for intakes at any time before, chances are you know the name Injen. They've been in the game for over 30 years now, making some of the best cold air intakes you can get. The Evolution has a number of features that make it unique and a great addition to your HEMI powered charger. Now, first and foremost, this is a closed box intake that will integrate with your factory intake scoop, so this is going to pull cool air from outside of the car and into the box. Now, that keeps things sealed off so it's not drawing in hot engine bay air that's bad for combustion. Cooler air is more dense and will mean that your car will make more power and respond better. Now, that closed box is larger than your factory air box as well, allowing for a larger volume of air to hit the filter. Now, this kit features Injen's Super Nano Web dry air filter. Dry filters are great because they are just, well, easy. You can clean them with a little bit of compressed air to help extend their life, and they allow for lots of airflow. The Super Nano Web features a unique multi-layer media with a nano membrane on the outside. This has nice deep pleats to help trap dirt and debris, and the additional surface area here means that you'll have more airflow into your engine. Since this is a dry design, there's no oil to worry about here either. You can just clean this out and you're ready to roll again. That filter is then going to feed the engine through a large diameter intake tube, and this is going to give you a nice aggressive growl under acceleration, which is always my favorite part of installing a cold air intake. Now, that tube is also smooth inside, unlike your stock accordion style tube, so all that extra air is going to continue to flow smoothly into the intake manifold itself. All this adds up to lower intake air temperatures and more airflow than stock, so you will feel a difference in responsiveness and power. Now, as I always say with cold air intakes, don't go expecting huge power gains, but it is something you can feel. You also don't need a tune to make this work properly. You can just bolt it on and enjoy. The intake tube and the air box are made from roto-molded polyethylene, which is widely used in vehicles because it's lightweight, strong, and it's also heat resistant. The Super Nano Web filter has that multi-layer dry cotton media with the progressive filtering and that nano membrane over top for additional filtering capacity. This is definitely a high quality setup, plus it comes with all of the stuff that you need to get it installed on the car, including some thick weather stripping to make sure that air box is nice and sealed off. Pricing comes in at about $450, which puts this on the more affordable side of the spectrum when it comes to intakes for these chargers. It's a really high quality setup for a great price, and that definitely makes it worth picking up if you're looking for something that's going to give you more sound, better power and response, and really just make driving your car that much more enjoyable. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 1 hour to complete. This is a totally bolt-on setup, doesn't require you to make any permanent modifications to your car, and since you don't need a tune, all you've got to do is bolt this on and then you can go out and enjoy. We're also going to walk you through the installation process step by step right now, so for that, let's head on out to the shop.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, 8mm socket, and a 2.5mm Allen wrench. What's up guys? Today we're installing an intake on our charger. First we're going to watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory intake, and I'll meet you back here for the install.
All right, so let's get this engine cover off of it first, and that'll give us access to everything else underneath. Now we can disconnect our mass airflow sensor here and loosen the clamp on our throttle body clamp using our 8mm socket. All right, so to disconnect, our mass airflow sensor is going to press the release clip on the plug and pull it out. Now we can loosen our clamp using our 8mm socket. Now we can disconnect our breather hose from the engine and take out this bolt here using our 8mm socket that holds our air box in. Now we can disconnect our air inlet tube from the throttle body and lift the whole thing out in one unit.
Now we just need to pop out our temp sensor out of our factory intake. We're just going to twist to the left and pull, and it's going to come right out. And then we'll grab our new intake and get that assembled. So now I'm going to start by assembling our intake tube first. We have an adapter for our IAT sensor that we need to screw in, and then we're just gonna stick our IAT in and twist it to the right to lock it into place. So pop that in, get your 2 Allen bolts, and thread those through the holes. Take a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench, thread that in. And then take your IAT sensor, stick it in through the hole, twist it to the right, give it a good tug to make sure it's in place. Next, we're gonna take our vacuum hose and we're gonna slip that onto this fitting. Just kind of wiggle it on. And then we're gonna take our adapter. This is gonna go to our factory vacuum line that we unhooked from our factory airbox. So just slide that in until it bottoms out. And now we can start assembling our airbox. So now I'm gonna start on the bottom of my airbox with my weather stripping. We've got the small strip that's going right here. So we'll just press that down onto it. And then our longer strip is gonna wrap all the way around. Start it on one edge, work it around to the other side. And then we'll flip this around and install our filter. Now we've got these little notches. They're probably hard to see on camera, but there are 4 of them here. So line up those notches on your filter so that it goes in and sits flat, just like that, and then twist it to the right, and that's gonna lock it in. So now I'm just gonna get this assembled so that we can drop it into the car in one piece. So take your intake tube, slide that into your filter, and then I'm gonna get my coupler on the other end. Now, this has a bigger side and a smaller side. The bigger side's gonna be going towards the intake tube, smaller to the throttle body. And now we can get this into the car. So now we're just gonna drop this whole thing into place. We've got this locating pin that's going into this hole, so it's just one thing to be mindful of. Wrap that down, pop that on the throttle body, line up my hole, rotate this a little bit. So now I'm going to take my bolt and thread that back down into my U-clip. And then we're going to take my 8mm socket to tighten that, as well as our clamp on the filter. And then while we're over here, I'm going to connect my 2 tubes by just sliding that over. And now we'll tighten down the throttle body. So now we'll tighten down these throttle body clamps. Make sure that your clamp is on the coupler all the way around. And then take your 8mm socket and tighten these down. And then we can just take our connector for the IAT sensor and plug that in. And now lastly, we'll reinstall our engine cover. We've got these grommets that are gonna go over these posts. So just line those up and press it down. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Injen Evolution cold air intake with dry filter for your 2011 to 23 5.7 liter HEMI Charger. Thank you for watching, and for all things Charger, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.